Today's guest hustler is Hollyoaks star and 7 Degrees North champion, actor Marcus Patrick.
When you're acting, there's usually other people around you that are also acting. Some of the stuff I see on the show, it just beggars belief that it actually goes on. I just want to find out what it is so I can sort of relax and think about what I'm doing. So please tell me.
So, to put him out of his misery, Marcus has been dropped off at a local garden centre for his hustle briefing.
Morning. Welcome to the Real Hustle Garden. Yeah, we stole all of this.
Okay.
Naturally.
Yeah. Nice and spacious.
Actually, today we're going to take part in a little bit of piracy.
Yeah.
You like pirates?
I love them.
And what do pirates like?
Treasure.
And what do they do with treasure?
They
bury it.
They bury it.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Usually with a map, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very old scam we're pulling today. Real old school stuff. One of the main principles is that you will have to do a little bit of forced labor.
Meaning? Was this in the contract?
This, actually it was. Check the small print.
Okay.
There you go. You'll need that. Come on, I'll show you the place.
We're off.
So it's off to work for Marcus, who's going to have to dig deep to convince the mark in the buried treasure. A large house on a quiet suburban road. Some workmen pull up outside and go about their business. It's Paul, Jazz and Marcus, suited and booted to do a bit of digging.
There we go.
They've told the house owner they're here to investigate reported water leaks in the area, but shouldn't need to bother them unless there's a problem.
You want to start around the edge first?
Yeah, start up just around the edge.
Marcus's first role is to be in charge of the metal detector.
Do that over that bit again.
And he's already got a reading.
Where's that? Stops there.
There you go. Oh.
There you go.
Don't do anything.
Every time around this bit.
Don't do anything until I've spoken to the owner, please.
They can't just dig up this beautiful lawn without letting the owner know. So Paul goes to get permission.
Hiya. Sorry to trouble you.
This lady is the owner, making her the mark.
We do have something in the middle of your lawn, but it's not where the pipe should be. Have you got anything under there, or? It's quite a dense object. We probably should have a look at it. Do you mind if we?
So Marcus's metal detecting has shown up that there's a large object buried under the lawn. But it's the wrong shape for a pipe.
Do you mind if they?
No.
All right.
As long as you put things back.
Yeah. Take the top off and go down. Yeah.
So it can't be a pipe. It's too wide.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, the pipe's supposed to run through the back here. There might be an old tributary, but that's it. All right, let me see. Do you want to see what this is? I mean, I don't know. If it's a pound coin, I'd be very surprised. It's a little bit too big.
Paul leads her downstairs to investigate.
Well, just go down a couple of feet. If it's not a pipe, just leave it.
Yeah, I can definitely feel something there. I made sure I cut it in a nice little square so I can just fill it back up for you.
Yeah, it's a bomb.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
It's not always like this. Don't get too excited.
It's more exciting than a
What,
pipe.
it's not a bomb or anything crazy?
I'm going to stand back.
They found an old World War II bomb.
Well, we found one of those in our time.
That's
We know.
definitely no water pipe.
It's like a deposit box.
Oh my God.
Oh, there you go. Oh, a claw.
Oh, look, it's
The hustlers have discovered a rusty old box.
This has been wet for a long time. Aye. Would you hold on to that for me?
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
little
sure.
minute, please?
yeah.
Beyond that.
The mark's intrigued and wants to examine the contents.
Yeah, it's very wet.
Oh dear.
What is that?
Oh my God.
Is it a picture? Is that a pic? No, it's not. It's a letter.
This is quite incredible.
It's, oh, wow.
Oh, somebody's
That is,
old medal.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Let's treat it. Let's touch it very, very carefully because you can see the water.
Don't touch it then, don't touch it then. Oh
me a
my
favour.
God, that's so gorgeous.
Let me take this.
Yeah, touch it very carefully.
right,
All right, let me just
put
feel
that in
this.
there just now. All right.
That's crazy.
Fill that back in for me just now and give me a minute.
Paul heads to the back of the garden with her to get a closer look inside.
So we'll look at what we got here. Yeah, this is all come
This
apart,
is
isn't
very,
it?
very, very fragile. Oh wow, that's quite emotional, isn't it? That's somebody's gorgeous letter. Louis Saul Princes Street, Edinburgh. Oh, it's unbelievable. What a gorgeous find.
What's that?
Oh, wow. It's like a wee map for hidden treasure.
The box also contains a map of the Marks' garden, showing the lawn and some trees with pointers to a further possible haul of treasure. But how on earth did it get there? Earlier that week, Paul recce'd a number of gardens in the area. Finding no one at home, he surveyed this back garden and took notes on layout and key features. In the den, Jazz and Polly filled an old metal box with a fake letter, a black and white photograph of a couple, some vintage trinkets, and most importantly, a map with an X marking the spot of more treasure in another area of the garden.
Hello?
Hi, my name's Daisy. I'm calling from TRH Surveyors.
Polly then made a call from a water engineering company. She wanted to check when the owner would be out.
No, there won't be anybody in tomorrow, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's no problem. We can always contact you another time.
That's what to do. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Cool.
Yeah, all good?
Coast clear, Paul and Alex returned to the house, sneaked around the back and buried the box beneath the lawn. Foreman Paul made sure Alex did all the hard work.
Let me have a wee look at this. This is a map that's kind of...
I'm going to take this and put it on here, right? Because look at...
Aye, please,
When I touch it.
please do, yeah.
The Mark takes the sodden box and its contents inside to dry out.
Then does that map relate to these trees?
Oh, just right now. Like, to my darling, keep you can, and all this.
Right, let me, I'll be right back.
On his way back down, Paul signals to Marcus and Jazz that the next phase of the scam can begin.
You boys find anything else?
We found there's something here.
Soon, more beeping from Marcus's metal detector has the Mark's attention.
Found anything else, boys?
There is, actually. Careful now, careful.
It's bigger than that one, though. But it goes from here.
What do you think?
It seems it's deeper.
Yeah. I'll leave it up.
This is it. The big moment the hustlers have been building towards. The metal detector has gone off the scale.
Yeah.
Something else is down there, and it seems much, much bigger than the first find.
There's something big over here. It's about 4 or 5 times as big, and it's deeper.
Here.
Rob, what do you want to do? Do you want us to sort of outline
don't dig that up. Don't dig that up.
Because they're pointing at a tree in the wee map. There's an arrow pointing to a tree in the map.
Oh, is there?
The map in the box has an X marking that exact spot in the Mark's garden. Funny that. So, she's got the metal box with a map promising further treasure. Could this be the find of a lifetime? Maybe not.
We've, our company's found things like this before. Is they tend to just take these things.
Right.
The only reason I know about this is that when they find claims, for example, there was a whole box of gold coins found about 8 years ago, and the council kept all of it.
So Paul's worried the council will step in and claim the loot, meaning the Mark will lose out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if there's a connection between that box, and they take that one, I'm not sure if that means they take that also.
Jazz helpfully points out that any treasure dug up by workmen must, by law, be reported to the local authorities.
I'm supposed to report it tonight. I'm
Yeah, that's
supposed to
fine,
take
you
it
know.
away, but I won't. I won't do that. I'm just deeply concerned that you'll lose whatever this is. I've been seeing this happen many times before. I just don't really want to see them digging up your garden and keeping all your stuff.
So the Mark might not get to keep that surprise treasure trove after all. And what was promising to be a great day is now about to turn sour.
I've been scammed. Aha! Scammed! He's dead!
Earlier today, the hustlers posed as waterboard contractors, investigating leaky pipes, and dug up an old metal box in this Mark's back garden.
It's not always like this. Don't get too excited.
The box contained some vintage trinkets, a letter and an old map promising more treasure buried elsewhere in the garden. Excited at the prospect of getting to keep the booty, the Mark was soon let down by Paul's insistence on having to report the find to the authorities.
I've been seeing this happen many times before. I just don't really want to see them digging up your garden and keeping all your stuff.
Paul's worried if the council step in, they'll claim the loot, meaning the Mark will lose out. Maybe he's got a solution.
Let me make a quick phone call.
He now pretends to be asking a lawyer friend for some advice. After all, he really just wants to help the Mark out.
Hi, I think you remember me. This is Robert Marks.
Paul's talking loud enough for the Mark to hear him. He seems keen for her to be able to keep the contents of the box without reporting it.
It's like a pirate film. There's a map, and there's a whole bunch of trees here. There's a bunch that are gone now, but there is a chance there might be something else. But yeah, okay. Sorry. What Ian has told me is that you should keep everything together inside the
I'm not
box.
touching anything that inside the box.
Inside the box, so that it's all in one place. And that you should put something of yours in the box that's of equal value, because they can't take it away from you then. That's what he's told me.
That's a great wee tip.
Paul's found a legal loophole to stop the council confiscating the box and the other possible buried treasure. If the Mark places something of high value in the box, she has a legal right to hold on to it because it's now storage for her valuables. That means the council can't touch it. And crucially, they won't get their hands on that map leading to the bigger buried treasure.
I have to take a photograph of it to show to my boss.
I've just done that anyway.
Do you mind if I take a photograph of it all in the box? Because I might get into trouble for taking it all out like
Just
that.
say the lady done it. No, don't put it all back in the box. Just say I done it. Just say that.
I have to insist actually. I know how these things go.
No, you can't insist because you're now in my house. It's
Yeah,
different when
but
you're
that's why.
inside there, but you're now in the house.
Yeah, but you
So
know, you could get me
can't.
into quite a lot of trouble.
Oh, don't mince. It was me who found the box and brought it up here. Look, there's the chains down there.
Despite offering to help her, the Mark seems unconvinced and is getting more and more frustrated with Mr. Jobsworth and his endless nitpicking.
You want it all back in the box?
I know it's a pain in the neck, but if I don't do that, I'll be quite.
See if you lift all that now. It's just going to. I think it's just going to all fall apart. It's so bad.
See, well, I mean, unfortunately, that won't wash with my boss.
Well, I'll speak to your boss because you're now it's some private property that's in here now.
I'm a little lost, to be honest, because he's told me to put something of value in there and say that that's yours, and nobody can take it from you.
Well, I can sort that out. You go.
I need to take a photograph of it, though.
Do it then. Come on, hurry up. boy.
Well, what can you put in there of value? I mean, what can I show you? All right. Can we bring everything out and I'll take a photograph, and then that way I haven't shown it in your house? I'm very, very sorry. This bureaucracy gone mad is what it is, but
So the Mark needs to put all the soaking wet and muddy items back into the box so Paul can take a photo. But to make the find hers, she has to put in an item of value of her own, along with the historical artefacts.
now, do you want to put anything of value in there, like some cash or something,
No,
just
do
to
it
say
on
it's
the
yours?
watch. It's fine. Absolutely not a problem. There you go.
It's very wet in there.
The Mark puts her watch in the box. It's a pretty nice one, but that's not what Paul's after. He wants cash. Unless she starts to play ball, the whole scam will have been a complete waste of time.
Are you sure you want me holding on to your watch? It's getting dirty. I really don't like to do that.
Right, I need to hurry you along though because
Yeah, well.
millions of things to do.
The Mark takes her watch back. She's rapidly losing patience, and this scam's just about to be going nowhere. Paul goes in for the kill. He needs to get through to her that if she doesn't place an item of great personal value in the box, she'll lose out on any further treasure buried in her back garden.
The last haul was worth about 200,000. They lost all of that, and I felt that was very bad.
I can put money in it if you want.
Finally, Paul's suggestion of another recent find being worth over £200,000 seems to have grabbed the Mark's attention.
And so long as your money stays in there, they say nobody can take it off you.
Right, that's absolutely.
By putting cash in the box and having it photographed in situ, she'll then be able to claim it as hers.
Well, do you want to do that now? Can I have the box and everything, and I'll just do it the way it was before? You put in whatever it is you want to put in there. Well, I'm guessing the more it is, the less they can argue. Would that be okay? I will, I promise.
Paul lifts the delicate items from the table and puts them back in the box. And it looks like the Mark has come up with the goods. That's £1,000.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of cash. Jay, do you have a camera? This one's rubbish.
Oh, here, take that.
Jazz brings his phone up to take the picture of the Mark's cash sitting in the muddy box of treasure.
Here, my hands are a bit dirty.
Sorry, that's okay. Thank you. That's clearly yours.
Paul neatly folds the muddy cloth around the cash and other contents and hands the box to Jazz.
Now.
I just want to take another photograph of it on the lawn, and then we're done.
Right.
Do you want to come with us?
We've pretty much checked everywhere here now.
Hello. What's your ghosting?
Stella, baby.
Oh, that's a nice name.
You actually, could you take that?
Yeah.
The three then head down to the garden to take that all-important final photo. A shot of the box in the exact spot where it was dug up.
So it doesn't come out, I don't think, any further than that.
Right, do you boys want to go and get the markers, please?
Oh, it got all wet.
So the most important thing is that I leave it the way I found it, and it's entirely up to you what you do with it. Can you just do me one big favour? Don't tell anybody that we know about that, because we won't mention it.
No, I wouldn't say anything about that, honestly.
Was that it done? You've
Yeah.
done it then?
So the Mark's happy. She thinks she's got a mysterious box of treasure that's just been dug up out of her lawn. She also thinks there's more loot buried there. And she also thinks her cash is safe inside the box. Wrong.
Dog, I've been scammed.
Scammed, it's there.
Here's what really happened. The muddy cloth package containing the Mark's cash was switched by Jazz as the Mark headed over to metal detecting Marcus to gloat over the new find, as Paul pretended to take a photo of the Mark's cash in the box. Of course, there's nothing buried under those trees. Alex made sure the metal detector would go off by hammering some large nails in the ground when he buried the metal box.
She's quite spirited, and there were points where I thought, oh, this isn't happening, we're off. Paul went back for a third time, and I thought, is he serious? A little tap on the window, as if he hasn't finished yet, and he was trying to get the box out. I think doing this sort of thing for real is too nerve-wracking. You've got to have a real bottle. And it's devious, isn't it? And you're constantly conning people, and there's no way to go through life, is it? So no, I'm not going to go head on into criminality, and I'm not going to go and sell my granny for a fiver after this, honest.
The Mark in this scam didn't seem to have too much to lose. After all, what's the harm in putting some money in a box that she then gets to hold on to? Plus, she really wanted to get rid of that annoying council official.
We need to be real here. What's the likelihood of buried treasure being in your garden? If officials come along and start asking you to dig up your garden or to come into your home, you have to ask them for identification. If they are genuine, they'll produce it immediately. If you've got any doubt whatsoever, ring the organisation they work for, the water board, the police force, or whoever, but check them out thoroughly and don't allow them to start digging up your garden or coming into your home.